Okay, awesome. So, very warm welcome to our last session for today. Before we starting getting ready for the cloud, I would like to introduce myself just shortly, and I've brought a few little questions for you just because I'm very happy to know who sits in front of me, and I love to give some insights about me. So my name is Franziska Schrecke, or just Franzi, it's fine. I've started working with Qlik software in 2016, and I've started with Qlik View and did that for 4 years before I switched to Qlik Sense on-prem, everything on customer side, and then that was in 2020, and then I migrated that Qlik Sense on-prem system directly into the Qlik Sense cloud in 2022. So I guess if we had these tools we had now, it would be even more faster. But so we did it in 9 months, all in. So it was a very good migration. So and then I moved to Qlik in this summer. So now I'm a really good Qlikkie now, the real one. And I'm very happy to be here. But to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. It's my first session for Qlik, but it's my topic, so that's a good one. And now coming over to you, I just enjoy that. So yeah, we should be louder. Awesome, thanks. Over to you. So I would love to ask you just a few questions. So just who of you is still on Qlik View? Anybody? Awesome. So whatever I want to say about the migration from Qlik Sense on-prem into the Qlik Sense cloud is applicable for you as well. So don't you worry, you do not have to migrate to Qlik Sense on-prem first and then into the Qlik Sense cloud. That's not necessary. You can directly go into the Qlik cloud. So that's the first thing. And who of you is on Qlik Sense on-prem? Most of you. Who thinks migrate in the next time into the Qlik Sense cloud, or is still doing that one at the moment? And any migration? Yeah? Awesome. And the last question. Anybody on Qlik Cloud? That would be funny, but okay. Yes, awesome. So just one sentence about Qlik Sense on-prem, and then we will talk about the Qlik Sense cloud. Don't you worry. So Qlik does not have any cloud-only strategy. Yeah, it's not the plan to do nothing on-prem anymore. So we will focus on-prem as well. There will be updates and there will be new features in on-prem as well. But there will be capabilities which are only reachable in the Qlik Sense cloud, of course. All these cool AI stuff you heard all the day today, it's more powerful and more accessible in the Qlik Sense cloud, right? And so let's just the intro. A short view on the agenda. It seemed to be very small and not so much, but to be honest, it's fully packed of content. So firstly, I want to give you a lot of benefits why you should move into the cloud. And the second part will be a short demo and the migration approach, how we would do the migration, and how we have some tools to help you. And I'm pretty sure that I would have been happy 3 years ago if I had these tools, but now they are there and you should use them. So yes, let's dive in. Why to move? There are a lot of Qlik benefits, Qlik Cloud benefits you should know. But from my thoughts, you should recognize that this is not just a technical move. It's not just bringing apps from one system in the other. It's more a business transformation. You have to think your analytics in another way. So you want to act with your data. You want to get more value out of your existing data. You all have these data. but you want to bring more value out of your data while reducing cost and complexity. That's what everybody wants to, and that's where the Qlik Cloud comes in. So just to give you an overview over the benefits. First of all, of course, everybody wants to maximize the return of invest. Okay, that sounds very marketing-like, doesn't it? So return of invest, what does it mean? Investments in analytics should definitely pay off. So you want to get something for your investments. And what I love to be honest, look at is the return. What do you get? Of course you have to invest. Every time you have to invest, but what do you get? And that's what I want to look for. And what are you getting by moving into the cloud is you get your insights faster. They're accessible faster. And that's directly the second point, right? So with faster insights, you can act faster. And everything is just built on speed. So if you open the Qlik Sense Cloud, everything, the key aspect in the Qlik Sense Cloud is speed. But again, what does that mean? It's again marketing? No, it's not. So I know from my practice all the years, it's fasten development. So if you have more than just one developer in your Qlik Sense apps, you can share you can collaborate and develop together in shared spaces. So you do not have the risk of creating different branches, different versions of the same app. You just develop together in the same app and then publish it. So no worries about creating different apps and then you have errors and nobody knows what happened the day before. But it's not only developing, it's your insights are available much faster, your decision making is shortened because you're gaining the access faster, and you can respond in real time. But again, is it marketing or what is it? And now we're coming to the additional capabilities, what you're getting if you're going to the Qlik Sense Cloud. And on one hand, there's Qlik Mobile. With Qlik Mobile, you get your data on the go. That means before you step your first feet into the office, you already know, is it a firefighting day? Or can I grab some coffee and relax because every KPI is okay? Qlik Mobile, awesome. The second one, Qlik Embed. So you can embed all your visualizations, we've seen it in the session before, in all your systems, in your CRM, ERP, you name it, in your own systems. So you do not have to search for any dashboards. So I need this visualization, but I've forgotten where it is. No, it's in your system where you need to decide it. It's embedded, right? And of course, when we talk about being faster, we should talk about alerting. And alerting is a big advantage, right? So you can define a threshold, and when that one is breached, you just get an alert. Via email, notification in your cloud, or even to your smartwatch. So you're getting the insights faster, in real time. If something happens, you're just getting alerted. So you come to actions. And of course, when we come to actions, we're talking about intelligence, we're talking about AI, we are talking about automations. And it's all built in, right? So we've heard a lot of AI today, agentic AI, of course. We heard this awesome session about these automation workflows, and it's all built in. The automations with Qlik Automate, it's a huge benefit because you can create your internal workflows with drag and drop. You just have these blocks. You can delete old data, you can refresh data, you can, whatever you want to do in your own system, you can do it with Automate. Creating users, whatever. I can talk about it 3 hours if I should, but I don't want to bore you here. So that's all possible with Automate, but it's not all. You can act with third-party stuff. So you can send Microsoft Teams messages. You can interact with Jira, with ServiceNow, create Jira tickets if you have errors in your dashboards, if you breach data quality, whatever you want to. Just create actions. And that's another thought of analytics, right? It's not just looking at numbers or at KPIs. Come to action, and that's what we're doing with the Qlik Cloud. No, I want to say more about AI. What AI, of course, what we do not want to miss is our Insight Advisor. Most of you know the Qlik view, guys. I guess it's new for you, maybe. But of course, we have this QlikSight Advisor in QlikSense on-prem as well. But in the cloud, it's more powerful. It's more integrated. That's one part. And it's working with structured data. Okay, then you have unstructured data. You have Qlik Answer in the QlikSense cloud. 80% of your data are unstructured data. PDF, HTML, docx, whatever, you name it. Again, 80%. You do not analyze them now, but you can with Qlik Answer and in the QlikSense cloud. And of course, the last point of AI, last but not least, is Qlik Predict. With Qlik Predict, you can build your own machine learning models without any knowledge of data science. You do not need to have a data science team, right? You can just build it through a wizard and Qlik. It's awesome. I just tested it. It's awesome because you do not have to know all these things your data science team knows, definitely. And then you can use all these predictions of demand, sales, risk, whatever, in your analytics directly. It's fully integrated. That's a big advantage for the QlikSense cloud. And then there's a point, it's always current. And to be honest, we have this discussion 10 minutes before. I know, I totally felt it when I migrated into the system, into the QlikSense cloud as system responsible. You say, hey, okay, but it's a loss of control because their updates are always current. Yeah, I totally feel it. But you know what? After, I don't know, a few weeks in our cloud, I recognized, oh, my head is free. I do not have to worry about updates, about maintenance, about older versions, about security patches, I don't have to worry about it. I can focus on bringing more value from my data. And that's a real big benefit of the QlikSense cloud. You do not have to worry anymore because we do it. We just do it for you. And of course, the next point, every company is thinking about is security. Ooh. Security is very important and a priority for everybody. And just let me say a few things about that. We have a lot of security certifications. You can look at the QlikSense on the Qlik homepage. It's ISO, SOC2, you name it. But what we do have is our architecture and infrastructure is built on Kubernetes, so it's a high availability, it's dynamically scaling. If you have more users, it just scales up and it's just working. You do not have to buy more hardware. So it's just working. And don't forget, it's a build on AWS. I guess, yeah, it's one of the most established cloud vendors ever, right? So we take care of your infrastructure. And then, of course, it comes to cost. Because if you do not have to take care of any infrastructure, you have significantly reduced in your total cost of ownership. Because you do not have to maintain all these hardware. You do not have to think how many on-prem nodes do I have because I have more users and all this stuff. It just doesn't matter because Qlik take care of that, right? And of course, you have freed the mind of, you do not have to do all these updates. I already talked about that, so yeah, that's that. And then you have the real-time access. As I said before, Qlik Mobile, Qlik Embed, alerting, Qlik Automate. So your real-time data becomes real-time action. And that's the story I want to tell you, right? You have faster and more informed decisions. And of course, user-friendly and collaborative. And that's a big point, because if you have users who really want to do things with the data, they can do it in the QlikSense cloud really better than on-prem because you can work together, you can build these community sheets, you can have notes, you can kind of chat with the visualizations and say, hey, did you see that, or whatever. So it's more a true teamwork on data instead of just looking on the data alone. So what I want to say, take this migration as transformation. Look at your data, understand your actual system, and then don't think it as only as a technical move, but a business move. Think analytics as going to action, come to action, bring the data faster. It's what we heard in the key session as well, right? Faster decisions, shorter decision processes, and yeah, establish analytics as a real business driver. Okay, so that's a why. Why should you do it? But of course, I know everybody is on fire of you now because you get all these cool benefits from me. But the next question is how to do it, how to move. And the good answer on that is you do not have it hands-on like I did it. But I did it in 2 months, plus minus 7 months for preparation, whatever. We can talk about that later. So if anybody wants to stay here longer, just no worries. We can talk about that all day. What we recommend is to do your migration in 5 steps. So first of all, you have to educate your users because there are a lot of possibilities, capabilities in the Qlik Sense Cloud what are not reachable or not accessible in the on-prem systems. So you should educate them, and we have a lot of learning tools and help pages to do that. So I would recommend to use them. And then, of course, you have to check your system, your actual system. What do you have? What do you want to take? What do you want to leave? I know everybody of us has stuff on-prem what's just not necessary anymore. Or maybe could be historical grown, so would be worth it to have a look at it. And then there's a mobilize fast. You can set up your tenants, set up your connections, and everything is fine to get the apps in, right? And then, of course, we have the migration and optimization fast, where we put everything over into the Qlik Sense Cloud, migrate everything, apps, connections, users, you name it. And then we're nearly on the go. Of course, we have to check, is our migration done good, or were there any errors or whatever? If so, we can, with our new tooling, roll back. So I've fastened up a little bit. So let's have a look into the 3 phases of this, because that's where our tools came in. The first of both are our SaaS readiness app. There you can check your system and printing system, and printing reports, your apps, your data connections, if everything is ready for migrate into the cloud. So I really recommend to use it. And the second one is our Qlik Analytics migration tool. And you should definitely have a look into that, because that helps you to do the migration standardized and very governed. And that tool, I will go through that one fast, finds your data, themes, users, whatever, builds everything up so you're up to go. It migrates all your stuff. You do not have to have any API calls or whatever. You even do not use Qlik Automate if you do not want to. It keeps some important stuff like the original app owner or the layout of the apps, of course. And then you have this logging process so that you can see if everything works fine in the migration or if there were any warnings. And last of course, you can do a rollback or your steps in between. So what I want to say is the migration tool is a very helpful tool for the whole migration process. And I would have been happy if I had that. So again, what do? We have these 5 steps, yeah. 5 steps in the migration tool to do. I don't want to read them all now because we do it in a short demo. And that's a hard part for my session because it's a video. So the Qlik Analytics migration tool is a web-based application. right? And once installed, you can just put all your settings in and work in this tool. And you have these 4 steps that run, 4 steps in the ground. And first of all, we have to set the connections, of course. So we have to add our on-prem system and our Qlik Cloud. Of course, as I said before, you can add your Qlik view or even endprinting as well, right? Just set up your connections. On the next step, you have to define your migration plan. Yep. Click on Edit. Do it. So in the migration plan, you just use your connections, and you can define some general settings. For example, of course, the Qlik connections I mentioned before between your Qlik on-prem or endprinting and your new Qlik Cloud. Then you have some space settings. Spaces are the new streams. You can define prefixes, suffixes, or whatever, and you can do some automatic email mapping if you want to. And then you have your migration plan, and after that we are going to the object selections. It's a hard word for me. And in the object selections, you define which objects you want to migrate into the Qlik Cloud. And that could be users or spaces or whatever. So we will do it as example for the users. So we can get the users by retrieve users. So we are getting all the users from our on-prem system. We can select them, which one we want to migrate. In this demo, we already selected these 4. And then, of course, I can see, so this is the view from the on-prem system now. If we click on the table mode, then we can see how that one would look into the Qlik Cloud directly, right? So it's very helpful to see what would happen with your users or with your streams or whatever. And then you can tick the button there, and then you can change some stuff for every user, or it's even possible to change individually things just on one user, or in that example, the email address. It's awesome. Yes, and of course you can do that for your spaces or streams. Just we have 3 spaces there. You can do it for your apps, change things, for your data connections. So you, of course, have to, retrieve them from the on-prem system, do your stuff, your settings if you want to change something, and then let's go. Yeah, that's very easy. You just have to connect your project with your plan, and then that's the important part. That's a job list. So here you define what really happens. Right? So you say, okay, I want to migrate firstly the users, then I want to create my spaces and assign the members to the spaces, and that's important to do it in the right order, of course, because if I do not have any users, I can't assign any spaces to the users. So that's an important part, but it's all, you can read it in the Qlik help, what's about the migration tool to install it and all that stuff. And that's the logging process, and so if you see any warnings or errors or whatever, you can see that everything is logged, and in that example you see here, that user won't be migrated because it's already existing in the Qlik Cloud. So for the moment, that should be fine for me because I know, okay, he's there, so I'm fine with that, and I can just run all these jobs through. And the last one, what I want to say is undo migration. You can drag and drop that one if you want to. If you find any errors in your users, you can just throw it up and then say, okay, undo everything I did since now, and then just everything goes back and you're on scratch. That would be very helpful 3 years ago. To be honest, that's a very powerful job. Yeah, so that was very fast, I know, but I recommend you to just have a look into the tool. So it's absolutely free. You can download that tool from our download page. Just put your hands on, log into your Qlik account, and so it's fully supported. If you have any bugs or whatever, just raise your hand. And instructions for setup can be found there as well. So I hope this short demo showed you the value of the migration tool. And I guess that's my last page. You know better what's there, but I guess you can win a trip with a Volvo. So yeah, if you have any questions, we can do it now or even later. So I can talk about that 3 hours. So if you do not clap your hands now, I will just stand here and talk and talk and talk. But maybe, yeah, on time.
Yeah, sure. I'm just a little bit curious, how do you handle some differences between on-prem and cloud? Like, let me give you an example. Let's say we have 2 tasks created in on-prem, and in cloud there's like a single task. So how do you handle these differences?
A single task for...
To reload, yeah, exactly.
And you have, before you have 2 apps, 2 reloads for your... So both would be migrated into the Qlik cloud with the migration tool. And then you have to decide if you want to stay or you have both or not. So you can open the migration tool and say, okay, I don't want to migrate both or whatever. Yeah, you can even select everything. So if you have 200 connections, you can say, I just want to migrate one of them. And it's the same for every object.
Okay, but when you set up a reload task in the cloud, you can create a single task at the moment, right? Like when you right-click on an app.
Yeah, and you can do scheduled as well. So you can do this task chaining as well. Now, okay, so it was not possible 3 years ago, but now it is. Or what do you mean? So, or do you mean for different times, the same app, different times?
This is a fair point because right now in Qlik Cloud, you cannot have 2 tasks. Like you cannot wait for successful reload from 2 or 3 application. There is nothing.
You can with Qlik Automate. You can. Yeah. Yeah. Do it. It is possible. It is possible. So there were some improvements in the Qlik Cloud where you can define the reloading stuff more generally, and you can add more task chaining, so wait for that app to be successfully loaded and then start the reload and do a reload. So you can put 10 reloads for the same app in the schedule. That's possible.
Well,
so at the end, it will be possible with Qlik Automate. At the end, definitely. So there's a wait for reloads to blah, 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 and then you can create these conditions. That's definitely possible. Pretty sure that I did it. But we can have a look into it if you want to afterwards just have open it.
Raz.
Yeah.
Currently, this is not possible, I think, in cloud. Of course,
you're waiting for 3 apps to be successfully loaded, and then load the the 4th one.
Yes.
It is possible.
In automation, or no, of course, like in automation.
In automation, I'm not sure if you can wait for multiple apps in the task chaining. I'm not sure if that is possible.
Then.
But with Qlik Automate, it is.
Yes, yeah, but that it's chaining. It means that every time when each of these 3 applications will be successful reload, this will trigger my application. It won't wait as it is in on-prem.
In Qlik Automate, it will wait. There's a block for wait for reloads.
Yeah, but then, okay, to me at least, creating automation to
trigger reloads.
To reloads, it's not that
intuitive.
Intuitive, and also it's a bit hard to manage because then you need to remember which automation is for which application.
But you have a very good monitoring tool. It's called QlikSense. So you can monitor. No, I totally understand what you mean. To be honest, I'm not sure if you can really add in this schedule waiting for different reloads in the task chaining. I'm not sure of that.
Relatively slim from what I've seen so far, but I don't know what might come.
But yeah, raise it as ideation. We need more micros.
then automation can be only running for maximum 1 hour. Yeah. So if I need to wait 3 hours for free application, then how does that supposed to work?
You can just create one automation which is just reacting after one of them is done, and then send to the other automation an input. So you have, maybe it's a little bit tricky to connect them, but
it's a bit more tricky than on-prem.
Yeah.
I would say,
I got it.
I get
but
that.
You know,
I got it that in theory
so
everything is possible.
I'm totally with you. So there were some hard stuffs in this scheduling stuff, right? So I totally felt it. So when we migrated into the Qlik Sense Cloud, there weren't even no task chaining. It was just reload your app. I can't say do it after that one is done. But now it's there, so I'm very happy. So I thought, yes, it's possible. And then I leave the job company, blah, blah, blah. But we had everything on. Yeah. Yeah, sure. And that's a big one. Yeah. Yeah, and then printing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so the good one, and again, I want to turn it into a good news. It's still, you're always current, it's still updating and still evolving, right? So I'm pretty sure that there will be updates for reporting as well. There will be updates for this task scheduling as well. So I'm pretty sure that that's the reason why we want to go into the cloud, right? So. I didn't test it with end printing, to be honest. Did you test the migration to with end printing? So I need a telephone joker for that one. July. But we can talk about that later, maybe. I have thoughts to share, but not with this micro in my hand. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. PowerPoint. Yeah, I know. And Excel and all this. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, hey, that's what we did in 2022. That's what we did 2022, and we had, yes, to be honest, yes, we had issues, yes. We had a lot of end printing stuff, and we said, well, wow, in 2022, the reporting in Qlik Sense Cloud was just not there. Nearly not there. And this task scheduling, it was not there, right? And now it's very cool because you're in the cloud, and yes, it's little things, but on top of that, you have this alerting, you have this automation, you can interact with third parties. I have no idea how many connections are there. Hundreds.
Like in every migration, there is like a journey, right? So it starts.
It is.
Here and it needs to be divided in.
Nice, yeah. 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 Awesome, and then you do it. Do it. But this girl. Thanks. But we can, of course, discuss later on if anybody has any more questions or want to join or whatever. Just take over to the networking part. Thanks.